500 subscribers. Thank you all so much. This could have not have happened without any of you. And so for a 500 subscribers special, you guys voted that I draw your OCs. So now let's get started. So at the time that I'm recording this, 5 people have submitted their OCs, but because of time and for my own sanity, I'll only be able to draw 3 since I want to do really detailed, nice pieces. So I'm going to be letting a wheel decide which 3 I do because I just wasn't able to decide myself. So number 1 is going to be at Luna Iris YT C7B's piece. Number 2 is going to be at Qualtro's piece. Number 3, oh my gosh, I'm really scared. These are all so good, but I just can't draw all of them. At Sneak Nick's piece. I'm really sorry, Soul Taker, and at that one, Lisa Fantablow. I just wasn't able to draw your OCs. They were really good. I just couldn't draw them. No, guys, I'm actually genuinely upset though. So we're first going to be starting with Qualtro's piece. By the way, I'm really sorry if I'm butchering your usernames right now. By the way, Quro, I just want to say, I really like the composition of your piece. I like the color scheme you used for like the shadows and the way you shaded it. I just really liked it. I've got to try my best to do it justice in this piece. Since it looks like in his piece, he was holding a thumbs up, I decided to like put that into my piece as well. And I really like his hair. The simplicity of this art piece is strongly intriguing. I also really like the contrast of the red shirt and the blue shorts. The creativity in this piece is amazing. I don't think I would have thought of this. And when I was drawing the hand, I didn't necessarily have trouble with like doing the hand. I had trouble with the placement of the thumb. I just wanted it to look not weird. And when I was doing this piece, I wanted to maintain the vibe of the piece whilst also like adding some nice complex stuff. So, and I had a bit of trouble like putting his torso into three-quarter view. I've always had trouble doing that, but I think I'm slowly improving. Either way, when recording this, I'm kind of sick, so that's why my voice might sound a little different. I had a bit of trouble like actually doing the shading part because I wanted to put complex shading in this one. The light source was coming from the bottom left. For a little bit, it didn't really look how I wanted it to look like. But don't worry, for this piece, I wasn't just gonna give up easily like I do in my other pieces since this is for a subscriber. So that Qualtro's OC is more of the focal point of the image, I decided to add some like black-ish gradients towards the corners. Oh yeah, I also found a new technique to draw bubbles. Wow, I'm really proud of how the bubbles turned out. I've never drawn bubbles before. And so yeah, this is how the piece ended up looking like. I hope you like it, Quro. I tried my best. The next piece is going to be Luna Iris YT C7B's piece. I'm just gonna say, Luna, I really am in love with the design of your character. I love the hair and the sunglasses, but let me just tell you, I hope this like isn't wrong or something, but I wanted it so that her eyes were kind of peeking out of the sunglasses, and I thought that'd be kind of cool. Since like a lot of the stuff was purple, I assumed her eyes were purple, so I'm sorry if I got that wrong. For the pose itself, I wanted her to be in a very similar pose to how she was in Luna's piece, but I wasn't going to show the lower body because I'm not that great at drawing shoes. And also, since I didn't know how to place her left arm or her left hand, I decided that she would hold a pen because I think the sunglasses make her look like a spy in my opinion. I don't know. With her rough sketch, I had a lot of trouble drawing her tail. I just didn't know how to place it. I don't really draw tails that much. But don't worry, I soon figured out how to do it. I just want to say I really like her hairstyle. I'm like a huge fan of ponytails for some reason. I kind of forget her crown until the very end, so you won't really see it until I show you how the piece actually turned out. For this one, I also wanted to do some fancy lighting, but first I just did the normal way I shade all the stuff like the skin and the clothes and stuff. And so the background that I added to this piece was going to be a kind of like black and purplish color schemed background. And what's different from this one rather than the one I just did is that instead of the light source being in front of the character, it's going to be behind the character. So I just thought this would be cool, I guess. And so yeah, this is how the second drawing turned out looking. Luna, I hope you like it. I tried my best on this one as well. And so last but definitely not least is Sneak Nick's piece. And so Sneak Nick gave me like an entire backstory and life story to his OC, and I really appreciate that. And it says in the description that there's like a forest, and so I decided that would be where this piece is set. And also there was going to be a sword. I really liked that detail. I also wanted this piece to be more in perspective. In the description it says that Fane lost one of his arms in an accident, and he holds the sword with his really long luscious green hair. So I wanted it to look like that as well, because I really like the idea of that. For this piece is going to be in woods, so they're going to be really tall trees, as well as some moonlight coming from the top left. I made sure to make his hair luscious and long because it looks really good in the reference. Before adding all the fancy lighting at the end, I just wanted to make sure there were just like the normal shadows that I add when I'm normally drawing. So for the most exciting bit was adding the lighting, but before I did that I had to establish like the background and stuff. And so at first I thought maybe the trees would have some shadow. It didn't really make sense to me. And so for Fane's actual fancy lighting, I decided to add a huge shadow to him so that it looks like the sword is more of the focal point of the image, and added a few branches of camera. And so yeah, this is how the third drawing turned out looking. I hope you like it, Sneak Nick. I also really tried my best with this one. And so here are all the OCs that I drew in this video. Thank you again for submitting these OCs. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to draw all of them, but I hope you guys like the drawings. And so yeah, today you saw me draw some of my subscribers' OCs, but in this video, I drew myself into the Spider-Verse. Go check it out and see you in the next one.